My name is Halima Adamu from Abuja, Sheraton, Borno State. When I wake up in the morning, I wash the plates and sweep the compound. And then I get ready to go to AENN Learning Center.
Halima Adamu is one of the over 75,000 learners enrolled in USAID-funded AENN program. AENN offers basic literacy program in early grade literacy and social emotional learning, CEL, and the post-literacy program.
Before now, the data for Northeast has not been very good in terms of out-of-school children, compounded by a lot of schools that have been, either burnt or attacked. So this large number of children found their way in camps, like some of them in Borno here, and some within the host community. And these kids, if care is not taken, they will grow up to full adulthood without having access to education.
AENN trained 13 community-based organizations to lead advocacy, community mobilization, and sensitization campaigns on importance of education for parents and caregivers to enroll them in AENN non-formal learning centers in over 150 target communities in Borno and Yobe states.
We had training on community mobilization where we worked in collaboration with the Community Coalition, the CC, in mobilizing the learners, identifying learning facilitators in the community.
AENN came to our community with a support to work with us as Community Coalition members to send our out-of-school children within our community back to school. They started with the community mobilization training. They taught us how to make advocacy visits. Through that training, we went and paid advocacy visits to our traditional rulers within the community, create sensitization and awareness to parents and caregivers to show them the relevance of sending their kids to school. We learned on how we can identify problems within our community. How can we look for safety spaces for them to come and stay there and be educated?
Community Coalition of Kondoga local government were able to mobilize scholastic materials for mainstream learners in Moronti. Secondly, 230 uniforms to support Moronti and the Shuari schools in the AENN program.
In Bade LGA, the CCs, after the training on resource mobilization and advocacy, employed a sort of community strategy which yielded the building of a block of classrooms. And that strategy was mobilizing parents and caregivers of children participating in our NFRCs to donate a single block per parent per child, and through which they were able to raise about 960 blocks. And because it was a strategy, it was easy for them to drive the process.
AENN trained 74 educationists from the universities, colleges of education, and officials from key government agencies as master trainers, school support officers, mentor teachers, to improve the facilitation skills of the learning facilitators and teachers, as well as security and safety of learning environments.
These master trainers were given a hands-on training that will enable them to cascade those training to the learning facilitators as well as formal school teachers in the schools we are intervening.
AENN USAID funded project has impacted a lot on my career. My teaching became a facilitating exercise where the learners are actually involved in the whole thing.
The master trainers are involved in coaching and mentoring. Our mentoring and coaching are tablet-based. They do it electronically and it is in real time.
The AENN tablet that we use for mentoring, you do it at the spot and then you send it up instantly. All the things you want from the LFs is now projected in the tablet, and the questions are straightforward, and then it makes the monitoring very easy.
That's why it is not surprising you will see the learning outcome has been improved.
The LFs were trained in Kanuri, and they taught the kids in the Kanuri language. The kids now understand the content in Kanuri more than in Hausa or English. And even the community are even happier because the Kanuri language is now being used in teaching their kids, of which the kids can read both in English and Kanuri.
AENN developed 52 contextual conflict-sensitive materials in Hausa and Kanuri, post-literacy materials in English language, and Kanuri literacy materials for formal schools. Some of these materials were adopted as part of National Accelerated Basic Education Program curriculum package by the Nigerian Educational Research and Development Council, NERDC, and other implementing partners in the Northeast. AENN trained 2,412 learning facilitators and teachers, of which 58% were females, in early grade reading and CEL, and a pool of 586 administrators, of which 30% were females, to train more teachers.
AENN, funded by USAID, train us on how to handle traumatized children, have to create a relationship between us and the children. AENN also train us on CEL, social emotional learning. They support us with materials that children are engaged in games like football, skipping rope, Scrabble, and balloon. So AENN has played a great role in the life of these out-of-school children. And we as learning facilitator, we've also gained a lot from their workshop, because some of the things we don't even know them. But after their training, they have impacted this different method into us, and we are using it in displaying our activities.
AENN initiated a COVID-19 response plan and rolled out a multi-platform distance learning system to sustain continuity of learning for over 80,000 children and youth within AENN communities during the lockdown.
We went around to sensitize the learners on how to prevent COVID-19. And so we demonstrated to them the washing of hands, the coughing in your elbows, the safe social distancing they should maintain while they are in their communities. And so the children in the non-formal learning centers in Borno and Yobe continued learning during the lockdown.
AENN reached the large number of children through interactive radio instructions, procured over 3,400 radio sets for households who could not afford them, and provided home learning kits in locations where the radio signals could not reach. The learning facilitators at each center collaborated with community organizations to facilitate COVID-safe radio listening clubs. Working closely with key stakeholders, AENN transitioned 57% of over the 75,000 learners who graduated from the basic literacy program, of which 36% are males, 45% are females, in the 3 years of intervention, to continue their education in formal schools within their communities.
USAID has engaged particularly the staff of Agency for Mass Education, right from enrollment of the learners, the monitoring of the activities, the examination conduct, the marking and moderation of the learner scripts. Then we also mainstream the first cohort into formal school, and we certify them with certificate. I can proud to say that the product of AENN are the best students in the formal school right now.
There is inclusion also. Whether you are able, disabled, boy, girl, the LFs treat them equally.
Through Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office support, AENN established 40 data hub centers, 20 in Borno, 19 in Yobe, 1 in Same Office, Borno. The data hubs were equipped with hardware and a digital dashboard to education managers to aggregate, analyze and utilize data for education planning, oversight and management in each local government education authority.
The issue of sustainability is in top gear. We have to and we must to maintain the database by training additional SSOs and training additional office officers to have an accurate data on both the formal and non-formal learning centers.
With the support from USAID, FCDO through AENN, it minimizes our errors in terms of getting data from our school administrators and school supporting officers, because School administrators or school supporting officers used to formulate data at their homes. But now, with the trainings that we receive of dashboards, we can assess, we can track, we can see wherever with the support of the coordinate that we are taking. The challenges is minimal now for getting the data from the school supporting officers.
Who can tell me just 2 situations that will make one to wash his or her hand?
Wow, Alima.
After cooking and after eating.
Good, clap for her.
Before the intervention of AENN, our children were out of school. But since the commencement of AENN learning centers, our children now attend schools and they learn a lot. Even their support with house chores has increased. Also, the morals they learn from schools has taught them to respect their elders.